See, this is the thing, right? Like in America, there's like happy hour.
Yeah.
Right? Aperitivo just sounds so much better.
Yeah, and you get free snacks. You don't get free snacks in America.
And it's...
Bring back free snacks. Hello and welcome to the Worldwide Honeymoon Travel Podcast, the podcast that talks about all things couples travel, including destinations, tips, advice, and more. I'm Kat.
I'm Chris.
And this is episode number 170.
We back.
We are back from Italy.
Yeah.
The trip that almost didn't happen.
Woof.
Oh
yeah.
my goodness, guys. Airline travel right now, I don't know if I need to tell you this, but it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. It started out the Friday. We were supposed to leave for Italy. We were going to fly to Milan. And we had checked into our flights the night before. Everything was great. Chris was running to Target to pick up last minute things that we needed to pack. And then we would head to the airport. And I get an email just a few hours before we need to go to the airport.
Less than 5 hours.
Yeah, less than 5 hours before our flight, saying our flights were canceled. But they're like, don't worry, we've moved you to tomorrow. And so we're only spending a week in Italy. And I was like, that's just not going to work for us.
Yeah, that didn't sit well with Worldwide.
Okay, well, and it turns out later on that Delta canceled so many flights that weekend. Just labor shortages, weather, all sorts of reasons.
We should have been flying United from the get-go.
Okay, but anyway, so that happened. I'm panicking because I'm like, well, we can't. Like, what are we going to do? Do we just fly out tomorrow and then miss a day and then, like, miss a day of our Piedmont wine tour, which is a huge reason why we were going? We talked about just canceling the trip, but we were like, nope, we need to. We really want to go. Like, let's just do it.
But when we were... Hold on. When we were thinking about this, obviously missing a day of the Piedmont wine tour was not an option.
Yeah, in hindsight, I'm glad we didn't do that.
I
so
said
anyway,
that with just.
Okay. So I was reaching out to Delta, which, again, with all these flight cancellations, impossible to get a hold of people. And so I was like, okay, well, like, we need to fly. We need to be to Milan tomorrow. Is there any way we can do that? Like, route-wise, could you fly us through Atlanta, Detroit, like, Minneapolis, anything that would, like, get us to Atlanta, or, Milan.
I want to stay as far away from Atlanta's airport as humanly possible. Oh, gosh,
the Atlanta airport is terrible. But... So anything. And they were like, oh, no, nothing's available from Cleveland, like, for today. And I was like, okay, well, like, I know sometimes a lot of airlines will let you book a flight through, like, Delta, if they don't have any flights, can, like, rebook you on United or something like that. Because I've had that happen at an airport before when I was about ready to get on my flight. It got canceled. And I was like, oh, I'm going to miss my flight and all this stuff. And they just booked me on a whole other airline. They said, yes, we certainly can. We'll just transfer you over to our booking department. So they do that. Got told it was a 290-minute wait. And I was like, well, by that time, there's going to be no flights left going to Milan. And we're going to completely miss the whole thing. So in a panic, we were just trying to research, like, where can we get flights? Where can we get flights? Who else is having flights that we can get to Milan today?
And who came in glimmering with their superhero cape?
Me.
United Airlines.
Okay. I was like, I'm the one who found it.
Huge. I found it.
No, I found the flight. Okay, so I found it while you were at Target. And,
okay.
Oh my goodness. So I found it. It was like a couple $1,000s. We're like, oh shoot, this is kind of a lot. So I was waiting for you to get home to book it. And then I was also simultaneously trying to contact World Nomads, our insurance, and be like, hey, will this be covered? Is this trip interruption, trip delay? Like, how would this be covered? Very confusing. They weren't really sure because they were like, we need to know the reason why your flight was canceled. We did not know at that time. I have since put in a claim and hopefully we'll get some money back. But, so anyway, figuring all that out, you come home, you're like, whatever, let's just, screw it. Let's just book the flights on United to get there. I go to hit enter to book the flights and it's gone. The flight is completely gone. And we're like, oh my gosh, panic. Then we have to go. We search again. The cheapest thing we could find was United. Again, that same flight, but it was the Economy Premium Plus.
But that's what I found.
Yeah. And then we ended up having to pay even more money for that freaking flight. And
you know what? Which was not bad because I was able to sleep a little bit better.
That's true because they had like the little footrest.
Yes. I had socks like nice little plain socks that I
Yeah,
put on.
I got a little amenity kit.
I watched
Did not expect to spend that much money.
I watched Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
It was a good flight overall.
Yeah. So it was a mess to get there. We ended up getting to Milan on time though, and our trip went perfectly well in Italy. While we were in Italy, it was fine. And then getting home was also another mess because Lufthansa didn't recognize our vaccine things, and we ended up just canceling that and booking a flight on United. Luckily with points, so we didn't lose any money on that one.
You know what this all reminds me of?
What?
Are you a fan of the Meet the Parents trilogy?
Yes.
Do you remember in Meet the Fockers where they think that they're flying to what is it? Greg Focker, his parents, Dustin Hoffman and Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
Remember when he thinks that they're going to fly down there, and Jack, Robert De Niro, goes, with airline travel being what it is, wouldn't you prefer to arrive in a custom climate-controlled motor coach? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Airline travel was unpredictable, right?
Well, and I just, in 2022, it's even worse. There's labor shortages and a lot of people really getting out there and traveling again. So it is just a lot of people, a lot of demand, not a lot of supply, and it's tough. But we made it.
It went well.
We had an incredible trip. We can't wait to talk all about it after these bucket lists series is over. But yeah, we'll have to talk all about Italy. We spent a day in Milan, 2 days in Alba, 2 days in Bologna, and then 2 days in Rome, and we will have to talk all about that. We're actually drinking some aperitivo as we record this podcast to reminisce. Chris has a Negroni. I have an Aperol Spritz.
You know, I will say something right now and go on record. Europe does it right.
I also love how, when you get an aperitivo in Italy, they just give you snacks. It's really nice.
See, this is the thing, right? Like, in America, there's, happy hour.
Yeah.
Right? Aperitivo just sounds so much better.
Yeah, and you get free snacks. You don't get free snacks in America.
And it's...
Bring back free snacks.
Let's start the free snacks party.
Can we please... We just want free
snacks. We just want free snacks. But no, I mean, it's a wonderful way to spend an evening, right? Like, you have a cocktail before you go to dinner.
Yeah. It's nothing crazy. You're not getting sloppy. You're just having a fun little spritz with some olives.
And maybe some crostini. I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends on what they have.
Maybe some focaccia. You never know.
Maybe some focaccia.
Just depends on how fancy they are.
Yeah. But yes, Italy was a fantastic trip. Really, really enjoyed it. We will talk all about Italy, but do you have a highlight from the past 2 weeks?
Italy.
I mean, that can't be a highlight, right?
I would say I've got two.
No.
Yeah. Oh.
One highlight.
There's way too many.
One highlight.
I would say exploring the very charming hillside towns in Piedmont.
Okay.
Is certainly a highlight, but then also the best cacio e pepe I've ever had in my entire life at Roma Sparita in Rome.
My highlight that I wrote down in my notes is highlight equals cacio e pepe. I love cacio e pepe.
Yeah.
I mean, how are you going to order another pasta?
I did. I ordered carbonara, and then we
and
split.
It was a mistake every time.
No, it was so good. It was so good.
I was so upset at Roma Sparita that I had to go halvesies.
I suggested originally that we get 3 plates of pasta.
Yeah,
I get a carbonara.
For 2 people?
Yeah. Why not? They're not that big.
Unreal.
We should have done it. I guess we need to go back.
For next time. But do you have anything else that you want to say? Any other griefs with airlines that you want to air right now, or?
No, but we're starting to get closer and closer to some status on United, so I guess that's good.
Can
After all the money we've spent.
Let's dive into that for a little bit. I unfortunately have never had a good experience with Delta Airlines.
Oh, see, I love Delta. I hate flying through Atlanta because I always get delayed or there's always something. But if you get a Delta through Detroit or Minneapolis, perfect.
I am United or nothing. I really am.
United, I mean, I get it. Americans meh, it's all right.
I mean,
It's nice when you get to fly British over to Europe.
Yes,
that you can
American
do
would
that
be
through
my
American.
second choice, but I mean, for like regional, I'll do Southwest. JetBlue was very nice when we went down to. Did we take JetBlue to Costa Rica or Belize?
I think Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Good experience with JetBlue, but like my ride or die, if I'm going to book a flight and I don't have miles anywhere, I'm going to do United.
Well, it helps that they have a hub here.
I mean, but I have really good experiences with them. Alrighty. We are back with our bucket list series. So what we're doing is we're going continent by continent. And we are talking about the top 3 things that we personally have done on each continent, like our top 3 experiences that we have had on each continent. And then we are also talking about the top 3 experiences that we want to have on each continent, right? So like not necessarily like the most popular things to do on each continent. Like there's a whole bunch of articles out there for that. But like this is more of like a personal what we want to do. Some of it, I can guarantee you that some of mine probably do not resonate with some people. So it's a little bit of travel inspiration, right?
Yeah.
We started this series in episode 168 with North America, followed it up in episode 169 with South America, and here we are in 170 with Europe.
And I'm glad we did this after Italy because now we have more experience.
We do.
So we can add that to the bucket list.
We'll see if it changed anything for either of us. So we'll start off with our European travel stats. And I'll go first. I have been to 9 countries in Europe, which according to the BIN app is approximately 15% of the continent. Now, I think that you have some experience in Europe. Right?
Well, I mean, I studied abroad. I've backpacked multiple times.
Yeah.
I have a whole travel blog just about France.
This is why they call you Miss European Tour.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But shockingly, I haven't been to as much of Europe as I thought. I've been to 20 countries in Europe, 35%. And I will say I'm missing like the Balkans, Eastern Europe, and
Hold on,
Scandinavia.
35%?
Yeah. So about a third of Europe.
Really?
It feels like more, but like I haven't been to, again, the Balkans, Eastern Europe, like past Poland and like Northern
Wow,
Europe.
no love for Estonia there.
Well, I haven't been.
I would love to go to Tallinn.
I want to.
All right.
And Northern Europe. So I haven't been to a lot of Scandinavia. I've been to Denmark, but I have not been to like Swinland.
Now, where is
Sweden,
Swinland?
Finland, Norway, Iceland. Like I haven't been to any of those.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. So you have far more experience in Europe than I have.
Okay.
So you have a wider net to cast in your European pool.
I do.
Let's talk about the top 3 experiences that we have had individually in Europe. And why don't you start with your number 3?
My number 3, I would say the Piedmont Wine Tour.
Dang. Okay.
2 days.
Okay.
Exploring wine. I have actually been to a couple of wine places in Europe, mostly in France, as in like the Loire Valley, the Savoie, and Burgundy. But absolutely loved this 2 days in Piedmont, the charming hill towns, the castles, and of course, amazing wine. And I loved going wine tasting. There was a whole other experience because other wine tastings I've had in the past are actually only a few little tastings. You know, you're not going to get
4
too
to
buzzed.
6, right?
Yeah, like you could do multiple in a day, especially in the U.S. So you could do like 3 to 4 tastings in a day. When we were talking to our guide in Piedmont, he was like, "Oh, you can 2 is like the most you want to do," and I was like, "Oh, I wonder why." And then we get started and we try 12 pretty healthy tastings. And you can't finish them. You're like, otherwise you're going to be sloshed. So you're like, oh yeah, I get why 2 is like the maximum. And then you go see castles and do other things in between that. But yeah, it was just gorgeous, gorgeous country there. Absolutely loved it. Lots of great hazelnuts because that's where that's from, and just amazing wine. And the views are just stunning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was an incredible area.
Yeah.
Really was.
What's your third?
My third is the thermal baths in Budapest. These baths, as you know, date back to the 1500s. Rudis Baths is the only one that I have been to. So
I've been to Secheni, but it's gross.
Okay.
I mean,
Rudis was better?
It's absolutely beautiful, but like I went to Secheni both during the day when it was absolutely lovely and then at night for a spa party. And you just, when you see like hundreds and hundreds of people that are drunk and nobody's getting out of the pool to go to the bathroom, you're just kind of like, and they don't drain the pool between this, I don't think. And I'm just like, you know what? I'll just give Secheni a pass after this.
You know what? In the words of Robert De Niro, wouldn't you prefer your own custom climate-controlled motor coach?
Exactly. Rudis Baths it is.
But yeah, Rudis Baths was awesome. So the thermal baths in Budapest are, they are sulfur-scented, I will say. So you will have a sulfur-scented soak.
They're not that bad.
No, I mean, it's not nearly as bad for like some of
Yeah.
us that have taken a variety of chemistry courses and mineralogy.
Yeah. I used to have like a face mask that was like sulfur-like. It was supposed to be good for your skin or something.
Well, so these do
terrible.
have healing benefits, right?
Yeah.
But it was incredible. I mean, the architecture.
Yes.
The tile work.
Getting
everything.
to see the ancient baths in the basement was really cool too.
That was awesome. The rooftop bath was really cool.
Especially watching the sunset over the
Yeah.
Danube in that bath, and you can have a cocktail while you're in there, and it's very fun.
The thermal baths are definitely something that I will remember for a long time. They are my number 3. What is your number 2?
My number 2 is the Cologne Christmas market.
Okay.
The markets, there's tons of them. But it's just the second we got off the train station and got out of the train station, it's just Christmas markets everywhere. It's absolutely magical. It was our first time really being surrounded by Christmas markets too. So just that whole experience around the holiday season in Europe is just fantastic, and I can't wait to go back. But Cologne was just, they do it right. It's so magical. You have markets everywhere. There's lights, and each of the markets have their own theme and their own type of mug and like their own little foods. I mean, you get similar foods around all of them, but it was a really fun experience. And I just remember how magical it was, especially as it got dark and the lights started coming out.
Yeah.
And there was the LED light shows on the castle, or, the big Christmas tree with all the lights hanging around it, with the imposing Cologne Cathedral in the background. It was absolutely stunning. So definitely an experience to have.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What about you?
My number 2 is the Colosseum and Roman Forum from our Italy trip in Rome, Italy. The Colosseum was one of the experiences in Italy that took my breath away. So I am a huge fan of ancient architecture, and I never really understood that until, so I loved Angkor Wat in Cambodia. I loved Machu Picchu, right? And then I'm like, maybe I'm just in awe of stuff that like people could do hundreds of years ago, right? The Colosseum construction began in 70 AD. 50,000 people could attend, massacres at the Colosseum, right? It was really cool to walk around the Colosseum, to learn more about it, and then to go into the Roman Forum. First of all, like incredible views of the Colosseum. But also to like get the historical context from the Forum, like where Caesar was originally killed, where Caesar's body was carried to, all of the different meeting places. It was just wonderful.
Even where they had like indents in these steps for playing marbles and things like that.
It was like a historical wonderland. It really was. And it was something that's
highly worth it to book a tour. For
100%.
sure. Don't try to do it on
guided
your
tour.
own.
Yeah, absolutely worth it. But to also my feet were hurting me at that point, right? Like we had walked a bunch. I did not have walking shoes, but I didn't feel it at all during that tour. I was so engrossed in the history and the sights around me with the Colosseum and the Roman Forum. It was absolutely incredible. So that is my number 2.
Nice.
What is your number 1?
My number 1 changed. I thought of it last minute. I have to say, Annecy has my heart, or Annecy, but Annecy in France, absolutely love it. My top thing is to go to the farmer's market. It's year round. I think it's on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, if I'm not mistaken. Huge farmer's market. It's awesome. Pick up ingredients there, pick up a bottle of wine at the store, and then rent a little paddle boat and have a little picnic on your little paddle boat out on Lake Annecy. It is so stunning. It's gorgeous. It's clear water. You have all of these mountains in the background, glaciers, just absolutely stunning. And to sip a little bit of like wine and have some cheese and meats that you picked up at the market, it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing to do. And it's absolutely stunning. It's one of those moments where you're like, I can't believe I'm here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to visiting one day.
Yes, I'll have to take you to Annecy.
I loved Paris. I
Yeah.
love France.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be a good trip. My number 1 is your number 2, the Cologne Christmas markets.
Wow. Okay.
This is the first time since the age of probably 9 or 10 that I felt true Christmas magic. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like you're out of that phase that you are in when you're really young. Not to like go into details because we don't know who's listening. But it recaptures the magic of Christmas that you feel as a child.
It really does, with the lights and the music and the cozy feeling.
Yeah, it's like a Hallmark movie, right? In fact, there was a Hallmark movie, but set in Vienna's Christmas markets,
which is also
stunning.
Amazing.
But Cologne's Christmas markets, I mean, those have my heart. Every Christmas that we have been here since then, and we're like putting up the tree and all of that kind of stuff, I always think back to Cologne. Mm-hmm. And we will make Christmas market food that we had in Cologne just an incredible experience. It is something that is hard to put into words, but is a must for any Christmas lover.
It is. The Christmas markets in Europe are just otherworldly. They're so beautiful. That's my favorite time, I think, to be in Europe. The holiday season. It's just beautiful.
Wonderful.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
You know, the Barolo Barbaresco wine tour was up there.
Okay.
A bunch of the other cities with Christmas markets were up there, but this is what I settled on. Okay. How about you?
I was thinking Ia in Santorini, seeing that the white domes is very beautiful. The baths in Budapest, St. Charles Bridge and Old Town in Prague.
That was high up there for me as well.
Very beautiful. And then also flamenco dancing in Sevilla, taking a flamenco dancing show.
Oh, cool.
And tapas in Sevilla, because again, they give great snacks. Spain is the king of snacks with drinks.
Really? I mean, if there's snacks, you're there.
If there's snacks, I'm a big fan of snacks.
All right. Let's talk about our top 3 experiences that we want to have in Europe.
Okay.
Mine are in no particular order.
Okay.
But why don't you go ahead and kick us off? Are yours in an order or no?
No.
Okay.
Mine would be visiting Tromsø in Norway. I really want to go to Norway, fjords and everything.
So hold on, I'm not familiar.
Tromsø, for the Northern Lights. It's in the Arctic Circle.
Oh, okay. Okay,
there's,
yes.
You've got you can do cross-country skiing. There's sled dogs. There's reindeer. And it's just a great, I've heard the weather's better there, so it's easier to see the Northern Lights and things like that. So I just would really like to go to Norway and check out the Northern Lights.
Awesome. So is the Northern Lights the real driver there?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
What's your first one?
I will also I also have one in Norway.
Ah.
Svalbard.
Oh, that's because I show you all those videos of like, hello, my name's Cecilia and I live on an island close to the North Pole.
You know what? I mean, I have written down Northern Lights,
Yeah.
reindeer,
Polar bears.
polar bears,
Yeah.
yeah, whales, seals, walruses, yeah, like a winter wonderland. I'm down
It's
for it.
true. And it's like polar night though. You have
It is.
no daylight.
And I believe that I also mentioned polar bears in my North America experiences.
So you just want to see polar bears.
I mean, that is, I cannot think of an animal in the wild. My top
Tiger.
three, I think, are polar bears, tigers, and orangutans that I want to see in the wild. Well, gorillas. Top 4. Yeah. Svalbard, Norway. What's your next one?
My next one is Isle of Skye in Scotland.
Yep.
Just absolutely beautiful landscape. The fairy pools, they're the fairy glen, and the lighthouses and all the lookout points and waterfalls, and it's just all the photos look absolutely stunning. Still bummed there were so many times we were supposed to go to Scotland in the last couple of years, but that is definitely a place I would like to go and see, is Isle of Skye. It's hard because I really want to see Scotland. Like, I want to see Edinburgh. I want to see the Whiskey Trail. I want to go to Inverness and all of that stuff, and the Highlands. But I think Isle of Skye is a big one that I want to see.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My next one that I will mention, I don't know if you've been here or not. Alhambra?
Alhambra?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I was
Really?
so close when I was in...
Hold on.
Okay, so when I was in Sevilla, I was very, very close. You could take a day trip, but nobody else wanted to go, and I was with a group of people. And I would love to, because I don't know if y'all know, but I'm a big fan of Tudor history, and Catherine of Aragon is, like, she grew up in...
Yes. Alhambra.
Alhambra.
I pronounced it
Alhambra.
Alhambra, and that was wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, Alhambra.
In Spain. She's the Spanish princess, like, but so that was always so intriguing, and it's just a marvel in architecture that I would love to see.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really bummed I never got to see it. So definitely want to go back to Spain to go see that, and for the snacks.
Snacks at the Alhambra.
Yeah, if possible.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's I mean, you laid down some fantastic reasons why you would like to go as well. Was that on your list?
No, but I just love it. And
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it's a place that I want to go to. I was sad I didn't get to go when I went to Spain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's another like architectural marvel, right? It's a beautiful palace, beautiful fortress. I've realized that I was talking to one of my friends, and he was asking me like how Italy ranked versus other trips that we've taken.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Italy was wonderful. But I've started to like almost like rank experiences in a way that like, did they take my breath away?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I feel like this has the potential to take my breath away. So that's why it's on my list. What is your last one?
My last one would be to explore Porto and do the Douro Valley.
Awesome.
To go
Awesome.
Port wine. Again, a place we were supposed to go to. We'll get there eventually. But yeah, I mean, I like port wine a lot, and Porto. I love the tile work in Portugal. I've been to Lisbon, and absolutely stunning. And Porto is even more so, with the tile work and all of that stuff. So I would absolutely love to go explore more of Portugal, and particularly get to go take a cruise along the Douro River and admire all of the vineyards along the river, and then get to try some port wine.
That'd be amazing.
That would be really fun.
I love port wine.
I'm so jealous. My parents went in 2019. They went to Porto.
Yeah.
That was they did Paris, Munich, Porto, and I think London during their trip.
Killer time in Porto too. They loved
Oh, I think that was their
Porto.
favorite part was Porto.
Yeah.
And ever since they came back, I was like, I need to go to Porto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my last one, it is no secret that my primary reason for going to Italy was to visit Barolo and Barbaresco.
Mm-hmm.
If I told you that my last experience that I want to have in Europe is also a wine region, it is
Tuscany? Bordeaux, Burgundy, Chateauneuf-du-Pape.
There it is.
There we go. Oh yeah, I'm going there next month.
Goodness. My gosh.
Just list out the wine regions of
yeah,
Europe.
I mean, come on. Yeah, Chateauneuf-du-Pape. South of France.
Where Amanda and I are going in July. My sister and I.
You need to bring back souvenirs. I love Chateauneuf-du-Pape wine. It is an appellation in France, south of France, and
Provence.
Provence.
Or Provence.
Known for their red blends of Grenache-based, Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre, other grapes. They also make white Chateauneuf-du-Pape, but for me, like, I love Chateauneuf-du-Pape. Specifically the red blend, Chateauneuf-du-Pape, and it is something that I want to visit. I've also heard that the area, I mean, whenever you're in wine country, have you ever been to a visually stunning wine country?
Not really. No.
No, neither have I. Right? So like you're surrounded by the scenery, you're having wonderful drink. It's up there for me. It's something I want to do. Were there any honorable mentions for you?
Oh gosh, I want to go everywhere. So the Tallinn, Estonia Christmas market.
Yeah.
That's up there for me. Istanbul, visiting like Hagia Sophia and like the markets and all of that.
Awesome.
Sweden. I really want to go to Stockholm and go to the ABBA museum.
Okay.
Like I have the most weird bucket list things. Like we chose Bologna because I wanted to go to Modena, try balsamic vinegar, and then we bought a bottle to take home with us.
There you go.
Yeah, I would say all of those. And Switzerland. I've never actually really spent time in Switzerland, so
we had an hour layover
in Zurich.
Yeah,
I would love to go and explore Switzerland.
Cool. I agree.
Go to the Jungfrau, do the see the Matterhorn.
Yeah,
all that stuff.
Yeah,
yeah. See all the lakes. Absolutely beautiful. It's very expensive.
Two that I was thinking of. Number one, Lake Bled.
Yeah.
There's just something about like me being at peace around water. Right? So that was something that I thought of in Slovenia. And then not necessarily right now with the current events that are happening, but Moscow.
Yeah.
In Russia.
One
day. We'll see. But again, all of the architecture there, I think would be stunning.
That makes sense.
Cool. So that is Europe. Africa is next.
Yes.
And I'm a bit bummed that we did this series so early.
I know, because we don't get to include, our current trip that we're hoping to take here in August and September.
Yeah.
To Uganda and Kenya. So.
Yeah, but it will be.
Well, we've only been to one country, so I guess we'll have to increase the bucket list portion instead of our actual experiences for the bucket list for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, similar to South America, probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, I think that's it. Let us know your Europe bucket list. There's so many amazing places and things to see and do there. You can always reach us at Twitter at WWHoneymoon, Instagram at Worldwide Honeymoon, or email kat@worldwidehoneymoon.com. But thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to rate and review our podcast. It takes less than a few minutes and really helps other people find us. Also, if you're enjoying this awesome free information on both the blog and podcast, when you're booking your next trip, head over to worldwidehoneymoon.com/resources and use the links provided. We earn a small commission at no cost to you when you book through these links, and these are all brands and companies we know, love, and use, like Skyscanner for finding the best flight prices, World Nomads for the best travel insurance, TripAdvisor for hotel bookings and reviews, and even Amazon for all of your travel purchases.
Thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Wherever you are, wherever you go, remember to make every day a worldwide honeymoon.